I'm Racheal and welcome to Take a Look, where we talk about the topics that are important to you. Every week we talk about a new topic. Last week, you may remember, we talked about which way the toilet roll should go. But this week, we're talking about some scientific stuff. We're going to talk about the aquatic ape theory. So I have a special guest with me today, Dr. Matt Gaffney, all the way from the University of Queensland. Welcome, Dr. Matt.
Thank you, Racheal. It's good to be here.
So, Dr. Matt, tell us more about this aquatic ape theory.
Oh, yes, thank you. Well, the aquatic ape theory is the theory that states that we have a common ancestry with sea creatures. The evidence being that we evolved from the sea as many eons ago, that we walked onto land, growing hands and feet and eventually standing upright.
Fascinating. So the idea is that rather than descending from apes, we actually came from fish?
That's right, yes, because we bear a lot of similarities to fish creatures. As I'll just give you a look at a graph here. If you look at the evolution of the embryo, if we got here in the early stages, looks a lot like a prawn, doesn't it? And then moving on to coming along here, we're looking a lot like a seahorse, and our eyes are further on the side of our head, and as we get closer to the end stages, the eyes go further to the front of the skull.
Wow, this is quite interesting stuff. So is this where the idea that we possibly came from the walking fish?
Yes, that's another one. It's a link in the evolutionary chain, is the walking fish. As we look at our hands, they bear a close resemblance to fins and webbing, as a lot of fish would have. And also lizards as well, like in the early days, like there were the walking fish, and then moving on to the lands, we evolved more into a lizard type creature.
Well, this is absolutely fascinating. We've got some walking fish videos, so why don't we go and check that out?
They're actually able to pull themselves out of a waterhole and move across land into the next waterhole.
Are fish that spend most of their time out of the water. They walk, eat, and court on land. They're the only fish to do all this on land instead of in the big drink. They carry water in their large gill chambers, which they use in the exact opposite way you'd use scuba gear. You carry air to breathe in the water, they carry water to breathe in the air.
Absolutely fascinating. So the idea of walking fish, that we literally walked out of the ocean, is something that I just can't comprehend, but it sort of does make a little bit of sense in some ways. But is this why we've got the webbed feet and the webbed hands, and is this where our tailbones come from as well?
That's right. We did, if you notice, we have many vestigial organs. We have the tailbone, which many creatures have a tail, but human beings have not found the need to, as we don't swim underwater or anything like that. I'll just quickly show you here. If you look at different creatures such as fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and humans, we all start out in a similar evolutionary stage, all starting out with tails, and as time moves on, we have no need for our tails, but the tailbone is still there.
But it is possible that we could potentially still grow a tail.
Some people, some genetic abnormalities will have someone growing a tail, yes.
And so with all these similarities between us and fish, why is it then, if we were born and evolved from underwater, why do people still drown? Shouldn't we be able to live underwater? Well,
sea creatures, fish actually can process oxygen through the water better than human beings, as we learned to use our lungs a lot more once we were on the land. But actually babies, like when people are born, like some people choose to have birth in water, and babies when they start out, they start swimming and don't use their lungs straight away.
Fascinating stuff. One of the things that's always fascinated me about fish in the water is mermaids. So after the break, I'm going to introduce a special guest who believes that she is a real life mermaid. So why don't you have a little break, and we will be right back in about 30 seconds. Welcome back to Take a Look. If you've just tuned in, we've been having a wonderful discussion with Dr. Matt from the University of Queensland about the aquatic ape theory. But now we're going to talk about mermaids, and my next guest, Eliza, believes she's a real life mermaid. Welcome, Eliza.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
So tell me, Eliza, living life as a mermaid must be pretty expensive.
Well, because I am a real life mermaid, obviously I don't have to spend much money on my costume, but yes, you could say that my massive 25-metre pool inside my house was quite expensive, around 25 to 30 grand.
Wow,
Yeah.
you actually have a pool inside your house?
Yes, of course,
I
it's
so have to check
necessary.
that out.
Yeah.
So at what age did you realise that you were a mermaid?
Well, it was difficult. I remember when I was about 12, I really realised that I can hold my breath for longer than all of my friends. So my record is about 12 minutes underwater, so I've got really great lung capacity. So I thought, as much as I aspire to be a mermaid, maybe I actually am one. And it was when I think I was 15, I actually started to grow a tail. So quite amazing.
And
Really?
such a beautiful tail it is.
That's your tail right there, is it?
Yes, this is my tail that I grew
Okay.
when I was 15.
Because I could have sworn that was just fabric, that was just a skirt.
So, Dr. Matt, you don't believe in mermaids?
Excuse me?
Well, no, she's coming here saying that she's got a tail, but it's a nice dress and everything, but it's
Well,
clearly fabric,
that is
isn't
just
it?
straight out rude in my eyes.
Well, I'm only seeing what I'm seeing. I don't.
Eliza has generously brought some video for us to check out about some mermaid migrations around the world. So this is quite a fascinating subject. So why don't we maybe take a little break from that and go and have a look at this video? Because I don't know about you, but I certainly believe in mermaids. And the sea is out there. There must be something out there. Wow, so the idea of mermaid migrations and gatherings must be a regular occurrence. How often do you attend these sort of events, Eliza?
Yeah, so I like to attend mermaid conventions monthly. It's really good to be surrounded by other merfolk, although they do dress up. They are humans who dress up as mermaids, whereas I am a real life
But not
mermaid.
you. You're a real mermaid.
Yeah. Was that sarcasm?
No, I was
or-
just agreeing with you. I was agreeing.
How many of you real merfolk are there out there? Would you say?
Oh, well, as you could see there, there's massive schools of merfolk. We've only explored 5% of the oceans, and the oceans are 70% of the Earth. So
Wow.
there is a lot more out there than we know. And
I've also
That
brought
is true.
some special seawater for you as well. I
Thanks,
believe
yeah.
that you need to keep moist.
I
Dr. Matt,
am.
would you like to do the honours?
I am
Sure.
feeling quite dry, actually.
Here we
Thank
go.
you.
So like humans, mermaids need to keep their skin moist as well. So yes, but I've actually gone out, we've sent one of our team out to find out what the public think about mermaids. So why don't we go out and have a look to see.
Hi, welcome back to Public's Opinion with me, Frelin. So for today's week, we're gonna talk about the existence of mermaid, the human evolution that starts from fish. Do you believe in it? So should we start to talk about this to the public? Let's dive in.
Do you believe in evolution?
Yes, I do.
It's a subject of belief, it's a scientific subject.
Yeah, I do. My mum's a scientist, so I kind of have to.
Did humans evolve from fish, apes, or you?
I believe people evolved from fish or like weird slug things in the water.
I think that like evolution was like this whole chain of events that happened, or like animals evolving somehow from like tiny cells.
Do you believe in mermaids?
Yeah, because we have seen a couple over the years.
I think not, but you can't say anything's impossible.
Yeah, 100%. For sure. Do you know how big the ocean is? There's got to be something in there. Even if it's not like Ariel the Little Mermaid chilling out.
Yeah, I would love to think so, but I think it's a fiction.
What is your favorite mermaid documentary?
The Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid?
Ariel. Which is the little?
And mine would be Splash.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's like an adult mermaid movie.
Okay, so that's all for Public's Opinion. So I hope that you guys learned a lot of things from this episode, and don't forget to email us about what is your opinion about this to take a look at gmail.com. So now let's throw it back to Racheal in the studio. See you next week. Bye!
Well, are mermaids real or not? You can decide that. But right now we're going to go to our pup quiz. So I'm going to ask you some questions starting now. Question 1. When is it possible to walk on water?
Well, it's possible to walk on water once it freezes over and becomes ice, and then it can support your weight.
Correct. Question 2. What year was the Disney film The Little Mermaid released?
Sorry.
Eliza?
I know. I think, okay, sorry. Pretty certain it's 1998. No, 1989, sorry.
1989 is the correct answer. Well done. Question 3. Christopher Columbus believed he saw a mermaid while sailing near Haiti, but on closer inspection, what was it he actually saw?
Well, like a lot of the sailors back then, they saw dugongs. It was a mirage, and they believed they were seeing beautiful women and not.
Very
Fish.
true. Yes, they were known as the mermaids of the sea. And our final question, question 4. The Shape of Water was a remake of which 1950s classic?
I'm going to say Splash.
I'm going to say Creature from the Black Lagoon.
And the answer is Creature from the Black Lagoon. So Dr. Matt is our winner for today. Well done, Dr. Matt. So it's been a fascinating discussion here where we've talked about the aquatic ape theory, we've talked about the walking fish, we've even talked about mermaids. So I'd like to thank you both for coming today. It's been wonderful, and maybe one day we'll be able to get you to believe in mermaids, Dr. Matt. What do you think?
I don't think so, no. Or what if you present
rude.
the evidence in front of me,
Rude.
but I haven't seen
look
actual.
Look at me, I'm sitting right here.
You're sitting there in a nice piece of fabric, but
Okay.
that's fine.
So
but
we might leave it there for now.
excuse me.
Next week we will be talking to some mothers who didn't know that they were pregnant. So that will be our Mother's Day special. Make sure that you tune in. You're watching, same time, same channel. And I'm Racheal. Bye.